Okay, episode 2, starting back here at the gate front of Castle Stormvale. Now, we will not be engaging in this little gank waiting right here. The knife I've got is not all that great for dealing with that giant back there. So, we'll move swiftly along. Pick up the seed. And then move on to our site of grace by this shack. And hopefully avoid being ate by wolves. Mostly successful, but not completely, alas. Now, there is a good friend here. Poor abandoned Roderica.
Everyone's been grafted. Everyone who came with me. They crossed the sea for me. They fought for me. Only to have their arms taken. Their legs taken. Even their heads taken. Taken and stuck to the spider. Did you know? If you're grafted by the spider, you become a chrysalid. It's quite a lark when you think about it.
The evils of Godric. I will make him answer for them. You have my word of that, Roderica.
You're on your own, are you? And heading to Stormvale Castle? Enticed by the one in the white mask, I suppose. Oh, you've come to be one with the spider? Well, that makes us two peas in a pod. But I don't have your courage. It's scary, you know, having your arms cut off. Or legs. Or your head. I want to be like everyone else, but I'm just too scared. I'm nothing but a craven.
Don't be so hard on yourself. There are a great many evils here in the lands between. No one should be expected to deal with all of them alone. Hell, even I'm not going to be doing this entirely alone. I do have Melina helping me.
Oh, I know. Can you take this little one along with you?
Aurelia.
The poor thing deserves someone braver than myself. And the spirits look rather fondly upon you. It'll be glad of your company, I think, the little un.
I will take her with me. Though I don't know how safe that's going to be.
It was a pleasure to see you. Oh, can you pass on a message for me? If you see the little chrysalids in Stormvale Castle, tell them I love them. And that, despite my craven heart, I'm sure I'll be joining their club soon enough. I'm finally getting the hang of this whole pain thing, you know.
I wish better fortune for you in the future. It isn't right for you to suffer so. I thought for a second there that I hadn't got the map unlocked. But no, I did. It just didn't wake up for a bit. Now, we're going to make a diversion this way. And have a meeting that many of you might have missed. 2 meetings down this road. And then a third, which I'm sure most of you have seen. I suspect you've all met this fellow and his fancy armor.
I've seen you before. Name's Bernal. Tarnished, just like you. Let me ask you something. Are you here in the lands between to take up the fight? Does your faith in the guidance of grace hold firm, despite the collapse of the Golden Order?
I have my own misgivings with the fingers, but the guidance of grace is still very valuable, and there's no reason for me to doubt that.
Yes, you're a tarnished through and through. Takes me back. That's a quality needed now more than ever. Any interest in bearing the torch of my battle arts? All I know is the sword. Picked up a fair few tricks in my time, too. Now's the time to pass them on. To a good and proper tarnished, like you.
Alas, I don't believe I have nearly enough runes to buy much of anything from you, truly. Let's see. Surprisingly, this will come in handy for a few items, but we'll leave it for here for now. Quick step, though, that'll be much more useful. And impaling thrust. That'll do for now.
There's a myriad of battle arts in these lands that I've yet to discover. Mementos of all the warriors who raised their arms in battle, lost and died. A fine tale, all told of true chivalric romance. That's how I fell in love with the sword, and the arts of combat. It grants meaning even to falling in battle, to death itself. Well, until we meet again.
Indeed. Well then, there's a camp we'll have to circumnavigate. Though frankly, I think I'm just going to run right on through this. It's a little too much of a bother right now. Come on. Too many enemies to deal with right now. And not really worth the hassle of them either.
Hello? Can you hear me? Help me. I'm stuck. Hello? Hello? Anyone?
A giant talking pot with arms. Certainly an unusual discovery.
Oh, my stars. I'm so happy to see you. I am Alexander, also known as the Iron Fist. And as you can see, I'm stuck here. Please, can you help me out of this?
Certainly.
My thanks. 1,000 thanks. Just give me a good smack from the rear with something nice and big. And I'll pop clean out, I'm sure. Don't dally. There's no need to fret. I'm very well trained. Give it your all, I say.
Alright. We'll equip a shield. And we just got one, so we'll use that. Or actually, can I even use the giant shield? Maybe this will get him out a little faster, but we'll see. Wonderful timing on that, PlayStation. Come on. I'm doing no damage. There we go. I was beginning to wonder if that would even work.
Well played, good sir. Well played. Though that mighty wallop of yours almost spelled the end of me. Well, I'm out now, and that's what counts. I thank you. And as a token of my appreciation, I'd like you to have this.
Exalted flesh. For a jar, I suppose this would be more valuable.
Once again, the pleasure is mine. I am the warrior jar known as Alexander. Iron Fist Alexander, in fact. I journey to the east, where I intend to further my education in the ways of war. And beyond these lands lie the scarlet, rot-blighted Caelid wilds. And upon their southern edge is Redmane Castle, in which a festival of combat is being held. I'd heard whispers of such festivities before. Doesn't the notion set your breast aflutter?
Yes, we will have great interest in the Redmane Castle and its festival, but not for a good while, I fear.
I'm heading eastward to Redmane Castle, on the southern edge of the scarlet, rot-blighted Caelid wilds. I've heard there's to be a festival held there.
And alas, that's all we're going to get out of Alexander for now. Now then, there's a site of grace up ahead and a bridge. And it's across this bridge that we'll have that potentially odd encounter. Before I carry on, let's upgrade my flask. Okay, now to cross the bridge. And I am going to completely ignore this fellow. Though he, as you saw, was dead set on not ignoring me. Now we have a merchant.
Oh, dear. Yeah, I'm terribly sorry. Are you here as a customer?
I'm afraid not this time. Though you do have a few things of interest. That hood, or that cowl, rather.
Nothing that suits your taste, then.
Well, as it happens, it did suit my taste, but I simply did not have the funds for it. Well then, there is a friend, an ill-starred friend of ours. But we need to locate him. He's somewhere around here. I just have to find him again. Now this area begins to grow dangerous. The graveyard is particularly fraught with peril. Lots of screaming. And doggos pursuing me. Now let's skirt this. There he is.
There's no mistake, is there? Death has left its mark once again.
Hail to thee, warrior.
A tarnished, are you? I'm known as D. I hunt down those who live in death and weed their death root. Heed my warning. The village here has been touched by death. And worse yet, it is home to a mariner. If you value your life, then go no further.
I'm afraid that I have little choice but to carry forward.
The village here has been touched by death. Turn back while you still can.
I do appreciate the concern, but I do believe that with my holy blades, I may be the undoing of the mariner. Now then, this guy isn't all that dangerous on his own, but the minions he summons can be obnoxious. And he will also flee at the earliest opportunity. Best to ignore his minions if you can. Oh, I can't see. Ow. Wonderful. Couldn't see a thing. I should have broken lock on. If he does it again, that's exactly what I will do, and run away. Ay ay. But, as you saw, the holy infusion was actually making relatively quick work of him. And fortunately, well, it's not a very long trip to get back to him. There you are. Now I get away. When he does that, I was caught in a corner the first time. Got a bit overly zealous in my offensive. Gotcha. And all your minions amounted to nothing. And he actually gives, early on anyway, a rather good summon. And now that we've slain the enemy, D has taken interest in us.
Another fool who won't listen to reason, eh? But with a prowess for weeding Deathroot. How would you like to earn the strength of beasts? If you're inclined to hunt more of those who live in death and weed their Deathroot, then I'll introduce you to Garank, the beast clergyman. I have a matter of my own to attend to, and the beast himself wishes for someone to take my place. What say you?
You've piqued my interest. Yes, I will meet with Garank.
Very well. Show me your map. I've marked the location for you, of a hidden gateway. It will lead you to Garank, the beast clergyman.
Thank you. And doubly thank you, as you've also provided me with a means to gain a great many runes.
I have a matter of my own to attend to. I spotted the mark of this centipede here in the village. An ill-omened symbol that should not be. Someone or something threatens the sanctity of the Golden Order and must be eradicated.
Indeed. Now then, didn't get much for killing the Mariner, but it was enough, so that now I can go back and buy the mask from the merchant. Ah, yes, and I'm still giving this graveyard a wide berth. No reason to drag the undead toward our good merchant, after all.
Terribly sorry. I didn't realize you came back.
Oh, don't worry, I'd only just returned. And we'll buy the cookbook as well. And we'll buy the knowledge on the flame chariot as well.
I'm afraid I've very little to offer.
It's fine. Alright. Now... Now we'll make our way toward the sending gate. But also do a fair few other things in this direction. We're approaching Caelid. So we'll grab a site of grace here or there. Though, we're not going to be spending much time in Caelid, not yet anyway. Back through Summon Water. Might be a few goodies around here. Though nothing overly significant, now that the Mariner has been dealt with. Ah, yes, and we have a minor Erdtree and a church ahead. And that church will be a bit of a problem. There's an invader that might be a bit challenging for us at this stage. The successor of Man-Eater Mildred, Tarnished Eater Anastasia. And now you see why. I quite like the Reduvia. Endless rolls. Come on. Ooh. That had better carry through than I would have thought. Come on. Oh! Caught me. Ah. Okay. Vicious, isn't she? Continuing to hack away at us even after she'd killed us. Okay. We'll try that one more time. But if this goes pear-shaped on me again... I'll try a different route. Or to be more precise, I would then follow the mark that D left for us on the map. The path that way will provide me a means of making this far easier on myself. Haven't really done much of any grinding as yet. So, very low on health and low on general firepower too. But, nice thing is, I can get the Grace before she gets to us. So, worst comes to worst, I can just respawn in here. Ooh. Gotcha. All right. Now we meet Melina.
Forgive me. I've been testing you to determine if the Elden Ring would truly have you, if you had the mettle to endure this long and arduous path. It seems my worries were unfounded. Torrent had your measure from the very start, whereas I merely pretended. There is but one other thing I can do to offer you guidance. I can take you to the Round Table Hold, gathering place of tarnished champions, guided by grace.
Take me there.
Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment.
The Round Table Hold. The Round Table Hold is a place where tarnished gather, guided by grace. Combat is prohibited on the premises due to a pact of non-aggression. This rule is in effect when the Round Table icon is displayed. The Round Table Hold is located outside of this world, and fast travel by grace is the only means of reaching it. So, a touch like the hunter's dream, then. And we've already met D. And we haven't been to Geraint yet, so he'll just remind us to visit the old clergyman. But you, we have not met yet.
I see you've just arrived. Welcome to the Round Table Hold. I'm Corin, a man of the cloth. I teach incantations, the strength granted us by the Two Fingers, and explore the secrets of the Golden Order, so that one day, if a tarnished of the Round Table Hold should become Elden Lord, I might counsel them, ensuring order regains its proper form Writing rule over men. By the way, do you still see it? The guidance of grace.
You are very presumptuous to think that the next Elden Lord would take you to be his counselor. But yes, I do see the light of grace.
You do? Wonderful news. Most tarnished are blind to it these days. You are something of a rare breed. Well, what do you say? Care to learn an incantation of the 2 fingers?
Alas, I don't think I have enough runes to buy much from you. Nor indeed do I have the faith to make use of much of it.
May the Golden Order shine through you.
We shall see. Ah, and Sir Gideon.
Oh, this is a rare occasion. I can't remember the last time a new tarnished made their way to the Round Table. Very well. As your senior, I bid you welcome. It is safe here. You may let down your guard.
If this were anywhere else, I would call you a liar. But as it happens, you are telling the truth, Gideon.
Allow me a word of advice. As your senior, you are a mere visitor to the Round Table. Nothing more. A house guest. Yet to earn their keep. Remember your place, newcomer.
Quite the welcome you've extended, Gideon.
There's nothing left to say. Be at your leisure.
I see. And you, Dialos.
Ah, hello. You must be new here. Well, just call me Dialos. The honor of one's house holds little import in these lands. By the way, have you met a young woman named Lanya on your travels? She's my servant, but fickle as the wind. Take your eyes off her for but a moment and she's good as gone. If you find her, please be sure to tell me.
I
Be sure
shall.
to tell me if you meet a young woman named Lanya. She's a servant to my house. She's been my companion since childhood. I've lost count of the number of times I've had to find her like this. Honestly, she's such a little tomboy.
Now, there is an enemy down here, but I am not going to waste my time fighting it right now, because I would most likely lose that engagement. It certainly would not be worth the trouble.
You're a new face. No matter, it's all the same. Lay out your arms. Let's get smithing.
You have chains on your
I
legs.
see you've noticed the chains. Nothing special. I'm a prisoner and these are my chains. I'm trapped by the hold. I'm dying, smithing for you fools. That's all there is to it. No, don't read too much into it. Well, no grudge against you. My being a prisoner is no fault of yours. Besides, I don't mind smithing. Despite my differences, the weapons get stronger all the same. Given time, technique never fails. Besides, it helps me forget the sheer terror of her.
I assume you mean Marika. And she is quite terrifying, yes. Ah, and Fear, the deathbed companion.
Greetings, great champion called by grace. I am Fear. Circumstances have compelled my stay at the Round Table Hold. Great champion,
Would you allow me to hold you? But briefly. Perhaps you might share with me some of your lively vigor and your stout-heartedness. Doing so will grant me the warmth of a champion. And you, I am sure, will bear a Balderkin's blessing. Do you think it vulgar, perhaps? Where I come from, it is a sacred act.
Holding alone would not be my only interest in you. But comfort is enough. It need be no more.
Ah, my thanks, great champion. You are very warm. What you felt light up inside you was a Balderkin's blessing. Though it is but a fleeting thing, I am afraid. Come back to me, should you require another. I will take you in my arms as often as you need.
A rare moment of comfort and warmth. Though, alas, fear is hardly without her wiles. Baldkin's blessing, favor bestowed by a deathbed companion, protection of a hidden temple in the guise of a bedchamber. Use ep2 to temporarily boost poise. The favor allows one to forget any aches and pains. In death there is only peace, for in death there can be no sensation. And we make use of it now. Because if I kept it, it would rob me of my very life. A small sliver of my HP sacrificed in order to maintain that item. And at this stage, it would serve no purpose. Yes, the servant of Gideon. His personal guard. And here we have a few items of interest. Including an actually workable shield. Now then, we have one last portion of a trip to make today. We have to go and reach the third church of Marika, in order that we might visit with Geraint. Alright. Now, we can follow this road without being jump-scared by the knight's cavalry. An enemy that we would be ill positioned to deal with as yet. Ah. We have a dagger that we could dual wield with our Reduvia. Alas, it wouldn't be an exceptional improvement. It would be useful, to be sure, but not a considerable increase. Okay, Archer. You die first. Rather frantic, aren't we? Oh, Kaiden. Okay. No, I do not mean to die right here. I am going to leave this well alone. I have no intention of getting murdered on this trip. Ah, slightly went the wrong way already. But let's visit this house up ahead before we carry on. There's a grace to help me recover from that little kerfuffle. And there's a glowing painting here, too. Later on, I may look for where the painting shows to find the treasure. But for now, we have a more specific goal in mind. And I think on the next episode, I'm going to have a go at getting a different weapon. The Reduvia will certainly serve its purpose. There's a boss in particular that it's going to be very useful for dealing with. But perhaps I should use something else for general purpose. Got the coat of an aristocrat. Yeah, I think I'll go like this for a bit.
Is anybody there? Someone who might be interested in rescuing the great Kenneth Height, servant to the True Order and celebrated repudiator of the false. Oh, Erdtree, grant me succor.
Well, the Erdtree will not answer you, but I will.
You've come to lend me your aid, have you? Well, that's very kind, but no. No, the help is very much appreciated, even from a tarnished. Despite appearances, nobility is no prerequisite to serving the True Order. You might have heard of me, Kenneth Height. Next in line is the rightful ruler of Limgrave, young Tarnished. I would have a boon of you. I want you to take back my fort. It lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. A knight commander from Stormvale took it. A fool, and plumb mad to boot. Simply obsessed with blood.
Very well, I shall reclaim your fort.
What are you waiting for? A kiss goodbye? My fort lies to the south, beyond the Mistwood. Take it back for me. Oh, I see. You wish to know the reward. Fret not. The great Kenneth Height is known for his considerable largesse. The celebrations will be lavish indeed upon the dawn of my fort's retrieval.
Indeed. Well, I shall hold you to it, Kenneth. Now then, the church ahead will provide us a grace in this region. Before I do grab that, though, I'm going to take a risk and go this way to collect a map. Yep, it should be directly ahead of us. But there are many bears and other worse things in these woods. There's one such right there. And I'm going to get well away before it notices me. Yes, for now we should play it very safe. No reason to get caught up in a fight without having this grace available. Very good. And here we may speak with Melina.
Spoken echoes linger here. Words of Queen Marika, who vanished long ago. If you wish, I will share them with you.
I will listen.
Very well. In Marika's own words, my lord, and thy warriors, I divest each of thee of thy grace. With thine eyes dimmed, ye will be driven from the lands between. Ye will wage war in a land afar, where ye will live and die. Well, perhaps that might serve you in lieu of a maiden's guidance.
It speaks to me of the downfall of
To
Godfrey.
strength, let my hand rest upon you. For but a moment, share them with me. Your thoughts, your ambitions, the principles you would follow.
Yes, Marika exiled Godfrey and wedded Radagon thereafter. After all, Radagon is hailed as the second Elden Lord. But now, we use the portal that D gave us the location for. Greyroll's Dragon Barrow. And before us, with pixelated doors. Ooh, that was bad. The Bestial Sanctum. And Garank, the beast clergyman, to whom I will feed the death root.
I smell it. Death. Feeding me. Tarnished. Bring more death. I shall grant thee eye and claw. Feed me more.
Very well.
I shall grant thee eye and claw. Feed me more.
Alas, I have no more to give just yet. But now, we're off to a very special location. And those of you who are familiar with the game will know exactly where I'm going now. To one of our very first rune farming locations. But first, we must cross this bridge and evade that dragon. Though, to be fair, eluding this particular dragon won't be all that difficult. Though he can be a bit tricksy right out of the gate. Grail. Flying Dragon Grail. Now, just keep running. Run away, run, torrent. There is no point in confronting this enemy. And we'll grab these runes, because why not? Now, there's a spirit spring right here, which allows us to drop down safely. And here at last, we have our first rune grind. Here at Leonard's Rise. And to end the episode, I'll demonstrate this, just the once. Right down this here path, and this gigantic ball will turn up behind you and try to kill you. And it will more than likely fall to its doom, and cough up 2,000 runes for this trouble. And like that, we have our farm. And here's where I'll end the episode, as I plan on using this a fair bit before we continue onward. So, if you enjoyed this, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And as ever, have a good day.